Hello and welcome to At Home with Mindy. Today we're going to make scones. So for scones we're going to need 200 grams of self-raising flour. If you haven't got self-raising flour you can use plain and add half a teaspoon of baking powder. But in here is the 200 grams of self-raising flour, half a teaspoon of salt and 50 grams of margarine, and then all we need to do is mix the two together so that they form breadcrumbs. I'm trying to use a pastry cutter to do this, but you can do it with your fingers. I'm sure doing it with your fingers is actually easier, but we'll just see if we can keep our hands clean for a little bit. So we're just trying to cut the butter into the flour so it resembles breadcrumbs. Because there's not a lot of margarine or butter, whichever you're using, it shouldn't take too long. Can't cook anything without making a mess, can I? Flour everywhere now. So it should end up looking a bit like that. Not very breadcrumby, but it is all mixed in quite small. Then we add 25 grams of caster sugar and just stir that through so it's nicely mixed in evenly. And scones you can make plain, or you can add dried fruit, cheese, but because we've added sugar, this one is definitely going to be a fruit one. So here I've got 50 grams of sultanas. So we'll just stir those through. And then we want to add 150 ml or quarter of a pint of milk. And then you just mix it to a dough. This recipe is so quick. Right, so we've got a nice dough there. It's incorporated all the flour, and then we'll need a little bit we'll just need a little bit more flour to put onto our worktop. So sprinkle that all out, and then we can turn the dough onto the worktop. And then we literally can roll it out. If you haven't got a rolling pin, you could just push it out, or use an empty drinking glass. But I'm just going to push it out to show how easy it can be done. So we want to push it out to about 1 centimetre high, and then with our pastry cutters, then with one of these we can cut it out. If you haven't got one of these, you could use an upside down cup, maybe cut a drinks bottle in half. I'm just going to flour it because it seems a bit sticky. And then hopefully we can lift them out. Oh, it's going to be a bit misshaped. And we just put them onto a baking tray. We should have preheated our oven to 220 degrees. I preheated mine and then turned it off because it's a fan and it's really noisy. But we'll be cooking these at 220 degrees or 425 Fahrenheit. Or gas mark 7, and these are really very sticky. I may have been a little bit heavy on the milk. I mean, the shape doesn't matter too much because it's only for family. There's the first 6 done. And then with the rest, I'm going to put more flour in because it's sticking to my fingers everywhere. Just try and re-roll it. With our fork, try and scrape that bit up. And I'm going to spread this flour out a bit better. And then we just pat it out again until we've got everything cut. Yeah, that's better. It is a bit of trial and error with some baking. Some people can do it literally by looking at how much flour is in a bowl and they know that it's the right amount. But I'm not that smart. Make this one a bit flatter, try and get 2 out of it. So we've managed to get 10 out of this, well, 10 with a little bit missing. This bit we'll just push together and the person who makes it gets to test it first. So that's 12 made actually. And then you can put a little bit of milk on the top to help it colour. So let me just wash my hands and I'll be back. I'm using kitchen roll because tea towels, I don't want all that batter and that might get onto it, so tea towels is easier on this one. And I really want to cough at the moment, but I'm scared to. I'll deafen you all if I have a quick cough. Right, so we'll place these into the preheated oven and then we'll come back in 15 minutes, they should be cooked, and we'll see how good I've done or not. Oh, I didn't put the milk on. So because I just cleaned my hands, I will just use my fingers to spread a little bit of milk on the top. You see, they are clean. I'm not expecting this one to come out too well because this is the one that it feels a bit too doughy. But we've made them now, so we may as well commit ourselves. So, see you in 15. Hello, we're back with At Home with Mindy. I've just taken the scones out of the oven and I'm not quite sure what I've done, but they don't seem to have risen that well. And they're still soft, but I think I could have got away without putting the milk on top, because now they look slightly burnt, but they're not. I'm sure it's just a trick of the light. But with scones I like to add some butter, sometimes butter, and some gorgeous jam. This one's only 28p from Tesco's and it's nice and smooth, so any children that don't like lumps, they'll like this one. But we'll try cutting. That was the one I said, wasn't it? The one that we didn't shape. We'll just see what it looks like on the inside. So it looks nice. It's steaming at the moment, but I'll show you what I mean about the jams being smooth. See, this one doesn't have any actual lumps of fruit, no pips, so it's ideal for putting with peanut butter and jelly, or make a nice sandwich, or have it with a nice scone. Looks gorgeous. And because they're slightly misshaped and the colour's a bit darker, everybody will know you've made them and haven't just brought them from the shop. So that's my excuse for them being slightly ugly. We'll put it down to that. We wanted the homemade look. But it's a fun thing to make with your children or your grandchildren. It's not too messy, and they get something tasty at the end of it. So, if you'd like to make them yourself, let us know whether yours turned out better than mine. And if you'd like to like the video or subscribe to see what other disasters I can have in the kitchen, you're more than welcome to. Until next time, see ya!